Ghana has not been consistent when it comes to decisive penalty kicks. We play matches, we do so well. I mean, we draw sometimes, not because we didn't play well, but we end up losing the game on penalties. This is not peculiar to only the Black Stars. We saw with the under 23 in the just ended African Cup of Nations for the under 23s in Egypt, where we drew with South Africa 2-2 and had to play penalties and lost on penalties by 6 goals to 5 to South Africa to lose the third slot for the Olympic Games in Japan later next year, and also to lose the medals to South Africa. Now, a lot of people have suggested ways of controlling or addressing this issue. The new administration, which is the Ghana Football Association, the Executive Council, and the Premier League Board, have agreed that moving forward in the Premier League, when games are drawn, then we should have penalty kicks being taken to actually keep these players used to taking penalties and perfecting the act of taking penalties. I want to speak with the usual panelists on our sports programs here on A1 Radio, Kings, aka the Sport Encyclopedia, to find out from him what he makes of this idea of playing penalties during Premier League matches when games are drawn. Kings, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay, so do you buy into this idea? First of all, what do you make of Ghana's inability to convert important kicks when it matters, especially when it's a decisive match?
Well, it's down to how we psych them and then the training methods. I think it's these two things that is causing us all the time. We are not able to convert decisive kicks. I think some of them, what they normally do is that if they get there, they always just want to play it with like some special technique so that maybe in case they score, people will say, oh, this was, let's say, what Justice Blade did in the Waffle tournament recently. You know, if he had scored, we would say, oh, Justice Blade is skillful, or he played a Jorginho style and then he scored. So these players, most of them have this kind of idea. So if they go, instead of them to take their time, calm their nerves, and then take it as it's supposed to be done, they always want to play it with some special techniques when they themselves, they know that they are not just good at it. So I think it's also one of the reasons why we are always not able to convert decisive kicks.
Okay, so this is a solution. I mean, they think that it is one of the measures to curb this continuous problem. I mean, a lot of people even want to describe it as a curse. Do you think that it is the best of solution to the problem?
I don't think so.
Why?
You see, if you have a league and you call it a league and you say if they play draw, then they should be playing penalties. It's no more called a league. Then they should just make it like it's a special tournament so that we will know that as for tournament, we know that some particular stages are there. If you get there, you play. If you the game ends in the draw, you play penalties. But this one, there's no league in this world that you play draw and play penalties. So I don't know the kind of football techniques our leaders want to bring, but me, I don't think it's the best, because even the players you said they should be playing penalties if they play draw. If you are going for the tournaments, they are not the same players you call. You will go and be calling players from Northern, Real Valladolid, Deportivo Alaves, Sassuolo. Those people, are they playing in the Ghana League? No. So I think it's a no-no for me. My money will not buy this idea.
Wow. So, I mean, it's not a solution to the problem.
No, it's never.
So what's the solution?
I think they should add it to their training session. If they are training for such pieces, they should normally add it. And they should maybe make it, let's say, rounds.
Are you talking about the Premier League? Are you talking about adding it to the training sessions of the Premier League clubs?
Yes, they should add it.
So if they are adding it, you made mention of the fact that these players are not those that will be called for major tournaments, with the exception of the local Black Stars and maybe the under 23. So, I mean, of what use will it be then to add it to the training session?
Just add it. Because at least you have to put in effort somehow so that they will know that, oh, training guy, you have been practicing. Just as some of the players, no matter what you do to them, they will not learn. So if you do that, they will know you've kept effort. But to play it in the league itself, I don't buy the idea. There is no more called the league.
So now that we have foreign players being called to play in the national team, especially the Black Stars, how do you solve the problem at that stage?
That is why I'm saying that if they come, the little time they have, they should add it to their training session. If they are taking such piece, at least, even if it nothing at all, every player should take at least 5 penalties before any training session ends. If they do that, I'm sure they'll be able to know those that are good at, so that if they are selecting, they'll rather put those ones first before those ones that you are not always too sure whether they'll score or they'll miss. They'll put them behind. But normally, some of the coaches, what they always want to do is that they'll put those that they are not very sure of first, then put those that are good at it behind. So I'll show you that it will reach there. I'll show you that if they play, they will score and it will reach the players you've kept behind. It will not get to their attempt, surely, if you want to be doing that. So it's also one of the things the coaches also need to take note of.
Well, so these are Ken's thoughts. I'm sure you also have yours. Remember, opinions are like noses.